A family's nightmare. Unravelling the mystery of Madeleine's disappearance. The sun was setting over the picturesque seaside village of Praia da Luz, casting golden hues across the tranquil waters of Portugal's Algarve coast. It was May 2007, and the McCann family, Jerry, Kate, and their 3 children, 3-year-old Madeleine and 2-year-old twins Sean and Amelie, were enjoying a much-needed holiday. Laughter filled the air as families strolled along the beach, unaware that this idyllic setting was about to become the epicenter of one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time. On the evening of May 3rd, the McCanns tucked their children into bed in their ground floor apartment at the Ocean Club Resort. The night was calm and the stars shimmered above as they joined friends for dinner at a nearby tapas restaurant. But when Kate returned to check on the children around 10 p.m, her world was irrevocably shattered. Madeleine was gone. How could a little girl vanish without a trace from a family's holiday apartment? What unfolded next was a whirlwind of frantic searches, media frenzy, and an investigation that would span continents and decades. Today, we delve deep into the heart-wrenching story of Madeleine McCann's disappearance, a case that has baffled investigators, intrigued the public, and left a family in endless anguish. The McCann family and their holiday. Jerry and Kate McCann were both physicians from Rothley, a serene village in Leicestershire, England. Jerry, a consultant cardiologist, and Kate, a general practitioner, were devoted parents leading what many would call a quintessentially normal life. With demanding careers and 3 young children, a relaxing holiday was just what they needed to recharge and spend quality time together. They chose Praia da Luz, a charming resort town known for its whitewashed buildings and pristine beaches. Accompanying them were 7 friends and their children, a group that would later be referred to as the Tapas 7. The Ocean Club Resort offered family-friendly amenities, including pools, tennis courts, and a kids club. Their days were filled with sunshine and laughter, their nights with good food and camaraderie. The McCanns stayed in apartment 5A, a ground floor unit conveniently located near the pool and restaurant area. The layout of the resort gave them a false sense of security. The proximity allowed them to feel close to their children even when they weren't physically with them. Little did they know, this perceived safety would soon be called into question. The night of the disappearance. May 3rd began like any other day on their holiday. The children attended the kids' club in the morning, played by the pool in the afternoon, and enjoyed ice cream treats under the warm sun. That afternoon, Madeleine asked her mother a curious question. "Why didn't you come when Sean and I cried last night?" Puzzled, Kate dismissed it, thinking perhaps the children had simply been restless. As evening approached, the adults planned their routine dinner at the tapas restaurant within the resort complex. Opting not to hire the available babysitting service, they decided to check on their sleeping children at regular intervals. At around 7 p.m, the McCanns put Madeleine and the twins to bed. Madeleine, with her shoulder-length blonde hair and distinctive right eye with a fleck in the iris, was tucked in with her favourite cuddle cat toy. By 8:30 p.m, the group convened at the restaurant, approximately 50 metres from their apartments. The sightlines were limited, but they felt comfortable with their arrangement. At 9:05 p.m, Jerry made the first check. He found the children sound asleep, the bedroom door slightly ajar as they had left it. Satisfied, he returned to his friends. Shortly after, at 9:15 p.m, Jane Tanner, one of the Tapas 7, went to check on her own children. As she walked past apartment 5A, she noticed a man carrying a child in pink pyjamas heading away from the complex. The significance of this sighting wouldn't be realised until later. At 9:30 p.m, another friend, Matthew Oldfield, offered to check on the McCann children while checking on his own. He noticed the bedroom door was open, but didn't look closely enough to see if Madeleine was in bed, a detail that would later haunt everyone involved. When Kate went to check at 10 p.m, she felt an odd draft as she entered the apartment. The bedroom door was wide open. Panic set in as she saw that Madeleine's bed was empty. Frantically searching the apartment, she raced back to the restaurant, her cries piercing the quiet night. "Madeleine's gone. Someone's taken her." The immediate aftermath. Chaos erupted. Resort staff, guests, and the McCann's friends spread out to search every nook and cranny of the complex and surrounding areas. They called out Madeleine's name, their voices echoing into the darkness. The local police were notified around 10:45 p.m, but crucial time had already slipped away. As the night wore on, hope dwindled. The realization that Madeleine was truly missing settled heavily on everyone involved. The initial hours are critical in missing person cases, but language barriers, procedural delays, and a lack of immediate resources hampered the search efforts. The scene was not properly secured, and countless individuals had traipsed through the apartment, unintentionally compromising potential evidence. The initial investigation, the Polícia Judiciária (PJ), Portugal's primary criminal investigation unit, took over the case. They faced immense pressure to find Madeleine, but from the outset, the investigation was fraught with challenges. The apartment had been contaminated, and there was confusion over the timeline of events due to inconsistent witness statements. Local officer Gonçalo Amaral led the investigation. He and his team explored several theories, including abduction, burglary gone wrong, and even the possibility that Madeleine had wandered off on her own. Sniffer dogs were brought in, border alerts were issued, and volunteers scoured the area, but no concrete leads emerged. The media began to swarm, turning Praia da Luz into a global focal point. Reporters from around the world descended upon the small village, their cameras and questions adding to the mounting tension. Amidst the chaos, the McCanns remained resolute, determined to do everything possible to find their daughter. Public appeal and media involvement. Believing that widespread publicity could aid in the search, the McCanns engaged the media proactively. They gave press conferences, distributed posters, and made heartfelt pleas for their daughter's safe return. The image of Madeleine's innocent face became ubiquitous, plastered on billboards, circulated online, and featured in news broadcasts worldwide. Celebrities joined the cause. J.K. Rowling, Richard Branson, and others offered support and financial assistance. The Pope granted the McCanns an audience, blessing a photo of Madeleine. A fund established to find her amassed over $2 million, enabling them to hire private investigators and continue their efforts independently. However, the intense media scrutiny was a double-edged sword. While it kept Madeleine's case in the public eye, it also opened the door to rampant speculation and sensationalism. Rumours began to swirl, and the McCanns found themselves navigating a treacherous landscape of tabloid journalism and public opinion. Theories and early suspects. As the investigation progressed, attention turned to potential suspects. Jane Tanner's sighting of the man carrying a child became a focal point. Descriptions were circulated and e-fits were created. Some speculated that Madeleine had been abducted by a stranger, possibly as part of a child trafficking ring. Robert Murat, a 34-year-old British-Portuguese resident living near the resort, attracted police interest. He had offered his services as a translator early on, which some found suspicious. His property was searched extensively, and he was declared an arguido, a formal suspect in the case. Yet, no evidence linked him to Madeleine's disappearance, and he consistently maintained his innocence. Alternative theories abounded. Some posited that a local predator was responsible, citing other reports of attempted abductions in the area. Others considered that Madeleine might have wandered off and succumbed to an accident, although this seemed less likely given her age and the terrain. The McCanns under suspicion. In a startling twist, Portuguese police began to view Kate and Gerry McCann themselves as suspects. On September 7, 2007, they were officially named arguidos. This development stemmed from forensic evidence, specifically traces of bodily fluids and cadaver scent detected by specialised dogs in the apartment and a rental car the McCanns had hired weeks after Madeleine's disappearance. The media seized upon this, and a tide of suspicion turned against the couple. Theories emerged, suggesting they might have accidentally caused Madeleine's death and concealed it. The McCanns vehemently denied these allegations, calling them absurd and hurtful. The strain was immense. Not only were they grappling with the loss of their daughter, but they were also defending themselves against insinuations of involvement in her disappearance. Legal battles ensued, including libel actions against various media outlets and Gonçalo Amaral, who published a book proposing their guilt. Closing the case and renewed efforts. By July 2008, the Portuguese Attorney General closed the case due to insufficient evidence. The arguido status was lifted from both the McCanns and Robert Murat. Officially, the case was archived, but could be reopened if new evidence surfaced. Undeterred, the McCanns continued their search. They hired private investigators and maintained media engagement to keep Madeleine's story alive. In 2009, they released age-progressed images to show what Madeleine might look like at 6 years old. Public interest fluctuated, but the case remained a topic of discussion. In 2011, at the urging of then Prime Minister David Cameron, the Metropolitan Police Service in London launched Operation Grange, a review and later an investigation into Madeleine's disappearance. Operation Grange and significant developments. Operation Grange brought renewed vigour to the case. Led by Detective Chief Inspector Andy Redwood, the team sifted through thousands of documents from both Portuguese and private investigations. They identified inconsistencies and potential new leads. One major development was the reassessment of witness sightings. Jane Tanner's sighting of the man carrying a child was re-evaluated, and it was suggested that the individual might have been an innocent British tourist collecting his own child from the resort's night creche. This shifted focus to another sighting by the Smith family, who saw a man carrying a blonde child toward the beach around 10 p.m. In 2013, e-fits based on the Smiths' observations were released, reigniting public interest. The investigation expanded to include suspects of various nationalities, and cooperation with Portuguese and other European police forces intensified. In June 2020, German authorities announced that a 43-year-old German national, Christian Bruckner, was a new suspect. Bruckner had a history of child sexual abuse and was in the Algarve region at the time of Madeleine's disappearance. German prosecutors stated they had concrete evidence that Madeleine was deceased, though they did not disclose details to the public. Searches were conducted at properties linked to Bruckner, including an allotment in Germany, where police used heavy equipment to excavate the site. Items were seized, but no definitive breakthroughs were announced. Bruckner, serving a prison sentence for unrelated crimes, denied involvement through his lawyer. Media influence and public reaction. Throughout the years, media coverage of Madeleine's case has been relentless. The press played a pivotal role in maintaining public awareness. but it also contributed to misinformation and undue speculation. Tabloid headlines often sensationalized developments, sometimes at the expense of accuracy. The McCanns faced a barrage of criticism, with some accusing them of negligence for leaving their children unattended. Online forums and social media became hotbeds for conspiracy theories, ranging from the plausible to the outrageous. The family endured harassment, including abusive messages and unfounded allegations. Conversely, many people around the world empathized deeply with the McCanns' plight. Supporters organized events, fundraisers, and awareness campaigns. The dichotomy of public reaction highlighted the complexities of media influence in high-profile cases. The McCanns' ongoing search and advocacy. Despite the challenges, Kate and Jerry McCann have remained steadfast in their mission. They established Madeleine's Fund, leaving no stone unturned, a charity to manage resources for the search. Kate left her medical career to focus entirely on finding Madeleine and supporting other families of missing children. In 2011, Kate published Madeleine, Our Daughter's Disappearance and the Continuing Search for Her, a personal account aiming to correct misconceptions and raise funds. The book provided insight into their ordeal, the investigation's shortcomings, and their unyielding hope. The McCanns have also advocated for policy changes, pushing for a child rescue alert system in the UK similar to the Amber Alert in the United States. Their efforts contributed to its implementation, aiding in the rapid dissemination of information in critical cases. Impact on missing children cases. Worldwide, Madeleine's case has had far-reaching implications. It exposed gaps in international cooperation on missing children cases, prompting improvements in communication and procedures between law enforcement agencies across borders. Organizations like the International Centre for Missing and Exploited Children have cited Madeleine's disappearance as a catalyst for advancing global child protection initiatives. The case underscored the importance of swift action, thorough investigation, and the need for specialized training in handling such incidents. Public awareness campaigns have emphasized child safety education, encouraging parents to implement precautionary measures without inducing fear. The legacy of Madeleine's case is a heightened collective vigilance and a commitment to safeguarding children everywhere. As we reflect on the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, we're confronted with a mosaic of emotions: sorrow for a lost child, empathy for a grieving family, and frustration over unanswered questions. The case remains open, a haunting reminder of the uncertainties that can lurk even in moments of joy. The McCanns continue to hold on to hope. In a statement marking the 14th anniversary of Madeleine's disappearance, they said, "We hang on to the hope, however small, that we will see Madeleine again." Their resilience is both heartbreaking and inspiring. This story is not just about one family. It's about our shared humanity. It's about the lengths we will go to protect our loved ones and the collective effort required to seek justice. Madeleine's disappearance has left an indelible mark on the world, a call to action that transcends borders and unites us in a common purpose.